Hi there, this is Chris Callett with museGrid.com. Let's take a look at the Social Meta widget, which is part of the museGrid Spring Pack, which is our free widgets available from museGrid.com and from the add-ons market. And let's take a look at what this does. Well, first off, before we drag it onto the page, let's take a look at what Social Meta does. So switching over to our museGrid site here, if we took a look at the code here, we'll see there's lots of script, all sorts of information in here, but as we move down the page we see this meta properties with this OG here. And metadata is obviously hidden data within the page that allows for information to be passed on to various services and allows certain information to be indexed by search engines and so on. So what does this actually mean? Well, if we grab the URL to this particular widget and we jump over to Facebook, for example, we can see that when we paste that URL into a sharing panel, a sharing input here, the Facebook will go off and read that data, but we've been able to determine what data comes back and is shown. So we can see here we have the description, we have the title, but when we look at the page source here, we can see that this description here and the title is coming from here, and we have our other properties, the image properties, coming in from that data. So this social media meta basically allows us to control what data is shared or is suggested to these services when somebody wants to share at your site. So rather than having just a information that's just straight off the page without your control, this allows you to have a lot more control over them. So if we drag this widget onto the page here, we'll see that we have this banner here. Now that banner will disappear when you render the page or when you upload the page. This banner is just used as a placeholder when you're previewing it in design mode in Muse. And let's just move that out of the way here. Now I would recommend that you put the social media meta widget onto each individual page rather than the master page, because each of your pages will have different data that you may want to share out. For example, you may very well want to put it on the master page and just have one set of data that goes across all pages. But if you wanted to share out, for instance, that this was a page about your services, you could put that data into the widget. Let's take a look at the settings here. We have two sets of information. The first is Twitter information. So when somebody shares out your page on Twitter, we can have more control over what is displayed there. And then the second data is primarily for Facebook, but Google Plus uses this data as well. And we can run through this information one by one, but what we've done instead is we've put some information links on the tutorials page to help you find out more about this specific data. So just hit the tutorials button here and you can get that data there, and there'll be more information about how to generate that or what information you want to put there, but it is quite self-explanatory. One of the things you may be asked for is for your Facebook numeric ID. So there's a link here, and if we click that, that will take us to this page here. And if we grab our Facebook, ID from here, if I go through to mine and go through to Chris Callett, here we go. I'm going to grab that URL there, pop that into here, and then that will look up my numeric ID, and that was generated there. So I can generate that numeric ID when it's requested here. So we're not going to go into great detail as to what you would put in each one of these sections, but just to say that all of those there will make a big difference to how your pages are shared out and the data that's displayed in the various social media networks, and that this widget will really help you create a good sharing experience. Thanks for watching.